Hello, hello, hello. Welcome on into the studio. This is Viv's Art and Garden, and I am Viv, and today I am painting some little Halloween doodles. Nothing fancy, nothing to knock your socks off, just a nice way to enjoy getting some painting in. So I've got a little pumpkin, a black cat, a ghost, some oak leaves, and of course some acorns to go with my goat leaves. I'm trying to say ghost and oak at the same time, y'all. You know how my tongue gets twisted around my eye teeth and I can't see what I'm saying. So we got oak leaves and acorns, and of course a few mushrooms, because I can't resist mushrooms. I think they are so beautiful. And while I paint, I want to talk about something I think a lot of artists, especially during things like Inktober, boy, am I struggling with that. We have this thing called all or nothing thinking. You know, that little voice in your head that whispers, if you can't do it perfectly, don't bother doing it at all. Just don't. Yeah, guilty as charged. More than one time during this Inktober have I said, I'm so far behind. I just need to quit. And then I catch myself because I know better. So let's talk about what this actually looks like, us creative folks. Because we are a different breed for sure. Now, for me, it might sound like this. Well, I already missed a few days of Inktober, so what's the point of catching up? Or, if I can't finish a full painting session, I might as well not start. It's just not worth getting the mess out for. This is a trap. I'm going to repeat that. Come back to me if you're trying to multitask. That is a trap. When we think that every effort doesn't count, even our partial ones, it puts us in a trap, sort of like a little hamster wheel. We keep telling ourselves, I don't have time, so I'm just not going to start. Everything's not going perfectly, I'm just not going to start. But here's the truth. Progress doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect to be meaningful. I'm going to repeat that. Get you a pencil, write this down, say it to yourself every day. Progress doesn't have to be perfect to be meaningful. It just doesn't. Even if you can just sketch one little doodle today instead of 3, or you can paint for 15 minutes instead of 2 hours. Gosh knows I would give anything to be able to just paint for hours on end, but my day doesn't work out that way. Or you can skip a few prompts and still be an Inktober artist. All or nothing thinking tries to convince us that if we're not doing it at all, let me say that again, because my tongue is not working today. It's easy for you to say. Let me get back to this all or nothing thinking. Because the all or nothing thinking, it tries to convince you. It's a dirty little thing. It tries to convince us that if we're not doing it all, then we're failing. No, you're not failing. We are not meant to do it all. And it's just not true that if, we skip a few things that we're failing. So let me tell you what happened to me this week. Now, y'all know I started out strong with Inktober. Well, October, Inktober. I started out strong with it. I was doing day 1, got my catfish done. Day 2, got the snakes done. Day 3, I got was it murky that was day 3? I can't even remember. And I was on a roll and I was feeling pretty kind of happy. That's proper English right there, y'all. The proper English. And then life got busy, right? Doesn't that happen to us all? You start to have projects that you need to get finished, or my hands were hurting from my arthritis. The garden needed some attention. Gosh knows that garden needs attention year round. It is a full-time job, and I got to balance it out. And suddenly I looked up and realized that I was way behind. I'm 3 prompts behind to be exact. So that little voice in my head is start whispering, well, you've already missed too many days. You might as well just skip the rest. Just skip it. You don't have to do it. But that would break a promise to myself. And the promise I made to myself was I was going to finish Inktober, and I plan on doing it. But does that sound familiar? Those little sneaky voices that they tell you, well, if you've already messed up this, you might as well not go on. Right? Sound familiar? But then I thought, why? Why would I give up something that brings me so much joy? I have not gotten to sketch with my ink pens or my dip pens in so long, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. So why am I going to give that up just because I don't keep up perfectly? No one's standing over me with a clipboard judging my attendance record. Y'all better not be judging me. Well, y'all can judge me. Just do it to yourself, because sometimes I judge people, but we getting off track. All right, so nobody's standing over you. They're not mapping you in of how many times you make it. And if they are, they're watching you way too close. The whole point of Inktober is to make art and grow and not check every single box. And this is something I've really got to learn for myself, because I am one of those people that I think I have to check every single box, or, it just doesn't count. But I did decide, nope. I'm still in it. I'm still going to do Inktober. Even if I end up with a half-finished sketchbook or a few loose pages, because sometimes I might have to get a little encouragement somewhere else and do my Inktober in a different sketchbook, cut it out and tape it in. And that's fine. Just tape it into my Inktober sketchbook. And I'm going to call that a win. All or nothing thinking is sneaky. It's very sneaky. I want you to watch out for it, because it feels so logical. Like we're holding ourselves to a high standard. No, you're not. You're just giving yourself an excuse to fail and to stop that. Or an excuse to stop, not fail. Well, let me rephrase that. If you stop, you do fail. If you keep going, you've succeeded, no matter how slow or small the progress is. But again, that's not what I'm trying to talk to you about. I'm talking about this all or nothing sneaky thinking that feels logical because we feel like we just holding ourselves to a higher standard, but all it really does is paralyze us. It sneaks in and we just get inside our heads and we end up doing nothing. Like nothing, not a thing. And it tells us if you can't do it 100%, it's not worth doing just the 20%. And that's the quickest way to stall out on any kind of growth, any kind of progress, and you miss out on your joy of creating. Because art, and really any skill, is built on those tiny little imperfect moments of effort. 10 minutes today, 20 minutes tomorrow, a doodle here, a color swatch there. Every brush stroke adds up, even those messy ones and even the rushed ones. If you have to wait for perfect conditions, you'll create a whole lot less art. But if you show up however you can, you'll look back and realize you actually built a body of work. You just did it at a slower pace and maybe in a messier way. So let's flip the script. Let's say instead of doing all or nothing thinking, what if we focused on something is better than nothing? It's almost like late's better than never. Something's better than nothing. You could even write that down. Have that for a little mantra. You can say it to yourself every day. Something is better than nothing. If I can't do all 31 Inktober prompts, well, maybe I can do 10 or 20, or maybe I'm just going to have Inktober bleed into November. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I can tell you I'm going to keep going. And if I can't finish a detailed watercolor painting, well, maybe I can doodle a pumpkin or a ghost with a happy smile and big eyes and just enjoy the process. And honestly, sometimes the smaller, simpler pieces, well, I hate to admit it, but they end up being my favorites because there's no pressure. And when you take that pressure off, you make space for play. And where does creativity and learning and progress? They are in those freedoms to just enjoy it. Those pressure-free times when you're just painting to enjoy it. You don't have expectations on yourself. And that's where your creativity will thrive. It will blossom. When you see this little black cat, might not be part of something grand challenge checklist, might not be some great Mona Lisa type caliber art, but it's still part of my artistic journey. It's still growing me as an artist, even if it is a simple little doodle. And you know what? That counts. That counts a lot. So let me just tell you this. If you're behind on your Inktober prompts, if you're doing Inktober or any art challenge or whatever it is expectation that you've put on yourself, please don't throw in the towel. Or if you're just starting out in art and you feel like you're way behind everybody else, don't give up. Keep going. Keep going in any way that you can. Maybe your flowers aren't as perfect as everybody else's. Maybe, your leaves look a little cattywonka. It's okay. You're learning every time you paint something, no matter how imperfect it is. You're learning, you're progressing. Like I said, art is not about perfect attendance. You don't need to keep up. Catch up, keep up. You just need to keep going. It's about showing up for your creativity in whatever way that you can. Today, right now. So maybe tonight you just paint a pumpkin or a ghost or a happy little mushroom family that doesn't even know what day it is, which I would be part of that family because, I never know what day it is. You're still doing it and you're still growing, even with those little tiny doodles, just put it that way. And honestly, that's way more impressive than quitting because you missed a few days. All right, friends, I think that my little mushrooms are looking cozy and my cat's nice and fuzzy and my ghost has a cute little grin. So if you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Your creative journey doesn't have to be all or nothing. It just has to be yours. So keep painting, keep doodling, keep showing up, even when it's messy, late, or imperfect, because every mark you make is proof that you're still growing as an artist. If this message resonated with you, let me know in the comments and tell me what you're working on, or maybe you're just adjusting your own expectations this month. And if you're doing Inktober even loosely, then just keep going. And remember, I'm right here. I am cheering you on.